All right, so quick one. Would you
Wicked
rather have
man.
a partner who expects you to be the provider or one who earns more than you and makes all the financial decisions? Starting with Wally Popo, our guest for the week. Would you rather?
Okay.
Yes.
So for me, I guess with all due respect, I've been married for how long now? About 19 years or so.
Ancestor.
And how are you?
How is the family?
And one thing I've noticed is this. Yeah, welcome. One thing I've come to accept is this: is that life is up and down. You might have today and not have tomorrow. So if you expect me to provide, and I have today and I'm providing, if I don't have tomorrow, what happens? You probably dump me. And I found out that it's about the attitude. There are times you have, I'm going to say this, I'm not, you know me, I don't know how to lie. 2 weeks ago, I was going out and I was quiet, and then my wife was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, man, I'm thinking about I have to buy fuel. That good thing wants to go. And she's like, you don't have money for fuel. I said, I have money, but man, I'm just not comfortable. I got to the office and I hear pim pim. Actually, correct wife. So it depends on two things for me. One, your relationship with your partner. If she's understanding. More women are becoming more successful than men. So if your wife is making more money than you, and you expect, I spoke to somebody and said, I don't know how to ask my wife for money. Why is she your partner? That means you are not good to her.
Exactly.
So if you are good to her, I can be making more than you today. Tables my turn. And then tomorrow you are making more than me. And then you will not keep your money and say, we will suffer together. So I think it's just 50-50 for me.
Because of time.
Can I quickly add something?
We need to move on to
just
the
one
next.
thing. All right, so this, a pastor came in from the UK to my house, prayed for us, and asked my wife one question. Not two, just one. He said, if you leave this country and go to the UK, for instance, and you start earning more than your husband, can you stay with your husband? My wife said yes. Nobody said anything. The pastor left the house. Olamide, I'm a chronic saver. What that means is that I save like chronically.
Yeah.
I don't joke with my savings at all. I invest a lot. Now, it wasn't like I didn't have any money, but I didn't have the money I needed to use to do something I needed to do.
Yeah, it happens.
And I asked my wife, I said, sorry, I didn't ask her because I don't think I've ever asked her for anything. She knew. She asked me that, what's up with you? You need this stuff now. You want to get this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I said, yes, I really need to get this stuff. My wife cleared her account. Listen carefully. She cleared her account and gave it to me. Bro, from that day, I've always been someone who likes to support my wife because I like my wife. And this was before we got married, and I told her, I said, look, let me tell you, I want you to be in a position where if I ever needed anything financially, you didn't need to think about it.
Yeah.
So I always invested in making sure that she's okay. Now listen to this. Once immediately that happened, that day I decided in my mind, I will do everything possible to make sure that you always have money in that account.
Right. Thank you, Dek.
That's
so,
it. So understanding is everything.
That's it.
We need to go into our main topic for today, but we have about 10 minutes to talk about it. So we need to be a bit snappy about it.
I'm ready.
In a recent video, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome of Christ Embassy made a statement that no one has cheated the church more than the music industry. How true is this?
I think he should start.
I'm going straight to how true is this statement?
Wow. Okay. With all due respect to Pastor Chris, that's his opinion. Maybe that's his experience as well. But how is the music industry cheating the church? So we're not talking about gospel music here.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of controversy online when people are willing to pay huge sums to certain gospel artists and neglect their own choirs in their own service.
Yeah, developing them.
You get me? So who's being cheated here? If people bring a certain value, why aren't they being paid what they're worth or being given a standard or level to their contribution? Is the church being cheated on which level? Because a lot of people would actually say it's some of the leaders of churches that are cheating the churches a whole lot more. How is music from the church? How is musicians from the church, gospel artists in the church, cheating the church? On which level? Financially? So church has now become a situation where it's just about money and church. You get where I'm coming from? So that statement kind of threw me aback, and I was like, what are we talking about here, in all honesty? Do you understand? If we're talking about winning souls.
So
Bringing people...
what you've said now is that the church system is monetized.
Exactly. When you monetize, so even, here's the funny thing, even when you monetize it, how are the musicians cheating the church?
In the first place.
In the first place. So here's the funny thing, and that's one thing about me, I think money is the root of all evil.
Confirm.
So it has
The love of money.
So do you understand? It has caused a certain divide that, for example, now, okay, let's take any church and be like, 1 million comes into this church. How much goes to A, B, C, D?
And they're not paying tax.
They're not paying tax. They're not taxed. How much goes to A, B, C, D? So what we're saying now is that more is going to the music side of the church. For what reason?
So we all know that over the last few months, he's come out with different, we've seen different recordings of him saying what he felt about certain members of his ministry who, there were disagreements, and he has since, or they have since moved on from his church to other churches and all of that.
This is a church, a very dominant church in Nigeria that's respected and honored and looked at it on high levels. This is a church whereby we can see the former wife is here with her own congregation, and he's here with his own congregation, so to speak. You get where I'm coming from? Why is it coming? I just feel the essence, I'm a Christian, the essence of church and the gospel has been lost because of money and finances.
Money.
That is what people are now looking at.
Okay, so Wale Popo, you meet a lot of musicians. You work with a lot of them. Now,
gospel, secular, the whole lot.
Yes.
The whole lot.
Do you think that gospel artists have earned the right to earn good money for their service, especially to the church and to, music at large?
I think there's a misconception. It's like saying reggae artists are cheating a sect. You can't compare yourself with the commercial music. So because they sing, that doesn't mean they make so much money. Then secondly, for me on this issue, I think the pastor is talking from a personal perspective, from his own experience. He might have helped one or two of them, and he's expecting them to, support me. We call it support. If I'm doing a show today, I'll go to an Ola Media and say, bro, I'm having a show, please support me. You know, that kind of thing. And then he says, no, I can't do. I will go now because I'm not paying him. What he's coming to do for me is monetize.
Pro bono.
People are going to come there and dance and donate and spray money. And at the end of the day, the guy is like, but I've helped this guy, I've helped this guy, I've helped this guy. And you're telling me to pay you now. I've had artists that are my good friends who are A-class artists, and you're doing a show and they'll still tell you, okay, Baba, don't pay anything, but you pay my hotel, my crew, you're already paying. So when the pastor says such a thing, I think the best thing is between him and the person. They know that I've helped this guy. There was a time he had problem and I gave him money. Now I'm telling you, come and sing in my church, and you're telling me I have to pay. That is unfair. So I think, to a large extent, they over. What's the word I'm looking for? They look at the gospel artists like the commercial artists, which is not fair on them. Their gospel artists are struggling. They are like reggae artists. They are like jazz musicians. You can't compare them to the Olamides.
It's interesting you said it, because earlier today, Frank Ador, myself and one of the producers of the Black Table, Zainab, we are having a conversation, and Frank is going to be on the show next week, so perhaps we can explore this conversation. He was talking about the Mercy Chinwo
I saw that, the Mercy Chinwo situation, and he presented certain documents to actually back what he was saying, but people were trying to accuse him of having a bias.
I think that's one of the most objective people that I know personally in media, and he says certain things about how Mercy Chinwo is doing very well, by the way, as an artist, not gospel, not secular, but
just
as an artist, she's doing very well. Now, there's this idea, Dek, perhaps you can help us with the answer. There's this idea that because you're doing gospel music, you're not expected to earn good money. However, the pastors, we see how flamboyant they are. We see how
with Lambos and
so why is
G-Wagons.
it so bad for the Mercy Chinwos and, the gospel artists generally to make money.
Why are the churches not investing in them?
Exactly.
If you notice, I didn't want to talk about this.
It's very sensitive.
The reason why I didn't want to talk about it was because I stopped going to church because of something like this.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're a sinner?
No.
So because I don't go to church does not mean that I'm a sinner.
He's a
That's what you
spiritualist,
must understand.
basically.
So you're not a
And I
sinner.
have read the Bible to the point where I now understand that it is not about going to church. Matter of fact, the worst set of people that I have known and that I know are people who go to church.
Wow.
That's a fact. It's a fact. Now,
They're coming for you.
I'm so sorry, but the double standards is just over the top. And I'll say this with due respect to the pastors. You're saying to gospel artists that they're cheating, they're doing this and all of that. What you must also understand is this. The pastors and the entire church organization is also cheating the churchgoers as well. Because the truth is, what you must understand is on all stratas, all arrangements on every level, when you look at it properly, Timi Dakolo said something, which is a fact, because I was in the drama group back in the day. We would trek to the church.
When you're not in the world.
When I was not in the world. We would trek from our house to the church. We would go for rehearsals, come back, trek back to church.
Wow.
We'll do all of the things that we need to do. We'll act drama. We'll trek back again. We're doing all of that. Just the same way Timi Dakolo said that when they were in the choir, they would trek from the house back to this to do their presentation, back and all of that. Now they have been able to now channel that talent that God has given to them and said, okay, you know what? We will praise God in the choir. We will go to church, we would praise God. But when we are on our own term, we would give God glory with our voices, not circularly, right? We will do this with gospel, but we will also eat from it. Where is the crime from in that?
For that.
Okay. What exactly has gone wrong with that particular issue?
No,
However, you see, my problem is this. I don't know to what extent Pastor Chris is talking about this. Like you said, it could be a personal thing for him. All right. But if we're looking at this on a general note, what you must take into cognizance is the fact that if a person has a talent and you are using that talent for God, I don't think there's anything wrong in it. Yep. Would you rather have that person use that talent for God and make something for their families and be able to be notable personalities in society, or use that talent for the devil and do well?
At this point, I smell jealousy. I'm just going to take some comments.
Before your comments, there's something I would love people to understand what happens in the music industry in general. There is a cost implication of doing music.
Everything.
From equipment to time to production
to sessions and all that. It's money, man.
Absolutely. What is free in Nigeria?
Who pays it?
What's free in Freetown?
Yeah, exactly. So when that cost is looked at the end of the day, you have to have a way to say, okay, I can even say, let me minimize my profits. Let me even say, I'm not making anything as well. But something needs to be remitted.
I just think generally life is about service, and whatever service you offer, there's a value that comes back in return.
Let me ask you a question. So which church building was given to the church for free?
Yeah, that's it. Life is always about service and value. So it's that simple.
You don't understand what I just said.
I get what you.
All right,
which church building was given to the church for free? People paid, right? People donated to buy the building.
It's not going to be magic.
It's not for free now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
All right, so I need to take comments because we've got just a few more minutes for us to wrap up the show.
Wow.
Yes. Atolu says, Atolu says, oh, wow, so this is the one and only Wale Po.
Yes.
Nice to see you, sir.
Yeah.
Hoping to see more of you here. Hopefully.
Wakanda forever.
Ashaya says, where is that Wahala man, rich uncle? I miss him more. Big question. We'll find out and then give you an answer to that as soon as possible. As Stanley says, some policemen approach or not, they are just crazy and trigger ugly.
Wow.
Atlamide says, me, where police ask me for money, I say I no get. He saw plantain in my car and asked me to cut for him. I told him it was for my children. I cut plantain for him, make I bend. And Larry says, For me, I'd rather be in charge of all that has to do with finances. Let me be the real Odogu Parara for my woman.
Okay, now.
You do well.
Amen.
Let's see how long you can be.
Wait now. When petrol will go to 1-2 now,
you know
go
Leave am.
And Adetayo says, Mr. Wale, your head is there, Jare. We need to see you more on the show.
I'll try. Petrol now.
Then we have Ashe says, me, I don't have issues getting married with a man that's below my financial status, so I don't mind footing some bills. Life is not that difficult.
Absolutely.
Yes.
At this point, I want to say a big thank you to everyone.
No, time flies.
Time
That last
is going.
commenter, your head is there.
Yeah.
Time is going, but there are things that we do. We have rituals. We have just a tip, which is like a summation of your thoughts on what has happened. And of course, we have Toast of the Week. So we'll quickly vote for Toast of the Week. But before we do Toast of the Week, we're going to do the tip, just the tip. Mr. Wale Popo.
I should give them a tip as I...
Just the tip.
Please,
you can't put everything in.
inside,
Just the
the
tip.
tip.
Yes, for the viewers.
Why are you looking at?
What tip are you talking about? You don't need to give me something to take away.
It's an advice.
Okay, so
Yeah,
for
it's
me,
just
this
a
is
tip.
it.
Yeah.
Anything you do in life, do it for God, don't do it for man. God never disappoints, man might disappoint.
Oh, sweet words.
Very short.
You see? That's why we call it Pope.
Sharp.
Simple.
So how many minutes do you use now? Very
I'm a
short.
radio person,
It's a radio card.
You seem like very like 2 minutes.
I don't see for my life, my brother.
So at this point, we need to lift our cups up.
Okay.
And we'll do this Toast of the Week. Who are we toasting to?
Let's
What are
toast
we
to Rich
toasting
Uncle. His birthday is in a few minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Okay, so our Toast of the Week goes to our own Rich Uncle.
Richie Rich.
Happy birthday to you. We wish you long life, prosperity, more wins, more victories to you.
Happy birthday.
And, hopefully, we would meet up somewhere and have good drinks.
Yeah.
Of course, as you know, it's almost morning time and it's time for us to go. Remember, the darker the night, the brighter the stars. Thank you, gentlemen. It is still the Black Table, the ultimate men's guide. And we'll see you same time, same station next week. Good night.
God
Good night.
bless.